This weekend I'm messing with the Sony RX100 Mark VII, and I'm going to try not to mention the price. Isn't this what vloggers do on camera? Of course, this thing is spec'd to the death, and that zoom 24 to 200, very, very handy, but it's an f2.8 to 4.5, so there's that. You can see that on and off time is pretty decent there. Fully articulated screen. Really, compared to the previous models, there's not a lot of change, especially obviously comparing to the 6. I'm not sure why you would buy the 6 to get the 7, but when we flip round to this side, the answer might be there, and that's the mic port. This is finally, in my mind, a more serious vlogger contender. You really need that mic port. I own a G7X2 and it was crying out for a mic port. Of course, the 3 brought that along, and this had to do the same, so that is a big deal. The movie mode is improved in this too. Of course, it's 4K. There's no pixel binning, the high bit rates, real-time eye autofocus in video, and it's very nice. You can see we're not on USB-C yet, but that's not really a huge deal. HDMI's in there, business as usual around here. That battery life, yeah, we'll mention that later. I find that it connects very quickly to the app once you get set up, and in fact it's quite, you know, it's very nice to use. This is something that really might win it for you. The Finder up and good to go. That EVF is actually very decent, and to put it away, just push in and push down. But as you can see, starting it up is just a flick of the switch and the whole thing comes out, and you can in fact adjust on the top. There's a little thing there to adjust for your eye strength. Business as usual, function buttons, menu, that relatively awkward movie button, but in movie mode you can use the button on the top there. You do have this pop-up flash, and you can adjust the fill flash settings. It's not really something that I need, but you know, I guess it's well implemented and it's there if you need it. Of course, you've got the ring here if you so desire. I've got it so that when I'm shooting, I can adjust the aperture like that. Now, display modes, you do have a few options there, as you can see, so nice and simple. Now, you can shoot in movie mode from aperture priority, for example, or any of the others there, but not all of them. We'll get to that. But in movie mode, you can automatically see the crop. You can see what you need to see. Switches to AFC in my case. Face tracking on. This has animal tracking too, and you can register faces, of course, as before. So very handy. Now, if we quickly flick into the menu, if you're used to the Sony menus, not an issue at all. In fact, really, I've seen much worse. This is fine. Maybe I'm used to it now, but it's absolutely fine. Although it took me a while to work out how to turn the sounds off. Amateur stuff. Solid, well built, obviously small, very discreet when you're out and about. No one will know the power that you behold. Is that the right phrase? Anyway, they don't know that you've got Alpha 9 style, speed, performance, very, very fast, nice burst shooting, pro level movie, hybrid log gamma, S gamma, Cine, S log 3, etc. All those movie modes that you've come to enjoy from Sony. Oh, and annoyingly vertical recording, which is fine if you're a big Instagram user. Anyway, let's go and have a bit of random fun with it and talk about it on the other side.
So we have an official account that is generally collected by places like the Herbert or by photographers who've been put into places by institutions. And then we have television archives that are there as official documents. We needed to obviously jog their memory, try and get them to understand that we were interested in the way that the world worked 50 years ago, 40 years ago, try and capture a little bit of their memory from doing that, try and encourage them to get involved in the potential of this project. Two photographers, Richard Bailey and Richard Sadler, both of them are now in their mid-90s. Both of them were active photographers in Coventry from the post-war era onwards. Richard Sadler, who lives in Monmouth, commercial photographer, also a fine art photographer, taught at the University of Derby towards the end of his career. This is the one side of Courtaulds, so this is up on Lockhurst Lane.
Note to self, this thing, which I'm shooting with right now, still the interval meter shooting business. There's options, a lot of options, but I'd much prefer it to spit out a ready file, no faffing about. Surely a little camera like this is designed to be good to go, not having to put it into the computer and faff about. Disappointing. Time lapse definitely could have been better. As well as that, for a camera, let's say of this range, why is the 2.8 not constant throughout? I'd have sacrificed some of the telly end to get a 2.8 if that's even sensible with this body. That's a little bit of a shame, you know, for the level, the quality of this camera. It's 2.8 to 4.5 and it jumps out of 2.8 pretty quickly. Bit annoying. Another little gripe, maybe it shouldn't be, you know, I'll explain why in a minute, but the battery life, the thing cut out on me while I was talking about the negative things just off the top of my head, my little note to self thing. So how ironic, I think that's the right word, that it should cut out at that point, because I should have realised you only get about 240 shots, 40 minutes video. But I don't know, something this small, convenient, packed, you just wish it would last longer. And yet the batteries are cheap, and I would recommend getting another one. They don't take up much space, not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, especially for what this camera can do. But really, it's just another one of those things that made me, well, I had to pack it up and plug it into a USB and charge it up that way for the last couple of hours. To be fair, it stopped me from getting distracted when I should have been working, which I was. And yeah, I don't know, man, but tell you what, this eye autofocus in movie mode is a nice little touch. And obviously the mic thing means that you're not just hearing pure road noise from behind. Anyway, onwards, it's looking a bit grey. Unlike the time-lapse mode, the slow motion is very nice and very easy to deal with. In fact, it asks you to make sure you've got your exposure settings, etc. correct before you hit record, which is nice. And you're away. It buffers and then records after you've recorded, you know what I mean? So, yeah, not bad. I mean, as you'd hope. in true vlogger fashion, I've just come out of the gym. Not quite true vlogger fashion because I didn't vlog in the gym, because who needs to see that? Anyway, now I'm using the camera without a mic because that is obviously more convenient, although the big deal is the mic port. But just in case, we want to see how good it is. I mean, windows are shut, I'm in a car park. Not too much ambient noise, so it should be doable. I know there's audio snobs out there, but I don't think you'd be really worried about my channel. Right, let's try and vlog. I have to make my protein shake. Oh, my water's attached. So let's do it. This vlogging lark. What on earth? All that faffing about, I need to get out of this car park. Right, does it do the job? We shall see. In harsh sunlight like this, you try using that back screen. Well, we've got that pop-up EVF, which just makes things easier. So I'm going to take a picture of that building, and well, I already took a picture of that building, but I might do that as well. And yeah, also this is with no mic. In this instance, a mic definitely would have been better. I do have it in the car, but whatever. While I'm killing a bit of time, I'll see if this panoramic mode does any good. So let's give it a crack and throw it up, and well, yeah, let's do that. As it turns out, it crops it in, so make sure you stand right back or use guidelines on the screen. Anyway, it was simple enough to use. Start, follow, job done. Processes it, comes out quick. So thumbs up for that. I don't think I'll use it that much, but it works. So yeah, cool. The value of something, including a camera, is determined by how it makes you feel, what it does for you, how it works for you. So typically, what you'll see in a video like this are personal opinions. Well, my personal opinion is that it's a very, very nice compact camera. Is it the best compact camera out there? Well, I've got my G7X2 here, and I'll be honest, although it's not quite as compact, but barely a difference, this feels better in my hands, and for what I would need it for, works, well, I can't say better anymore, but it gets me there for a fraction of the price. But the price might not be a big deal to you because it's almost an A9 squashed into a small body. Yes, a much smaller sensor, but how often do you need to blow up images super sized or crop right in? You know, especially a camera like this, it might just be for your day-to-day snaps, your travel stuff, your holiday stuff, where you just want to throw something in the pocket and actually in the pocket and do the job. That doesn't mean that the camera is perfect, which is why I find it difficult to say it's the world's best compact camera yet. I would definitely have loved to see better battery life. I would have loved that time lapse to work. I'd have loved a 2.8 all the way through. maybe I'm expecting too much, but it's, and we didn't want to mention the price. Remember, it's all about value to you. But for £1,200, I mean, yeah, you could get something bigger, better, but it's not the point of a compact camera, is it? You do get a real nice, well, shooting experience, and actually the results are even better than you probably thought when you were looking through the screen, or that really cool viewfinder, which, oh, I can see myself now, is actually very decent to use. It is chock full of goodies and it does perform very well. Just don't think it's your pro equivalent, well, unless you're shooting videos, because really this upgrade is all about the video modes. For a vlogger who this could well be a genuine contender for top 1 or 2 vlogging cameras, it is excellent. And now we've got that mic port, and if you want to mess about, you can get a nice flat profile and work on the file afterwards. But if you just want to get it done, get it out there, not have to pass it through the computer and mess about, you can still do it with this. I mean, 24 to 200mm with no noticeable difference in image quality. Sorry, one other moan. I think I was expecting more from that touchscreen. It's fine, but it doesn't do everything you would expect these days for a top level camera of its nature. You know, Sony, why don't we have a fully usable touchscreen? I mean, you've done a lot, but there's just small things that seem to be lacking. As with most cameras these days, especially from Sony, there are so many features that you could talk about that just in one video it's unfair, and there are much better videos as far as going into depth and showing more cool examples of what's going on. But I'm happy on this look to recommend this if this is the level that you want to go to. Get your hands on them as always and see how you feel. If you've done that, let us know in a comment below. If you think it's really worth upgrading, I mean, it's a serious vlog style shooter now, so yeah, I'd be happy to take it with me on my travels. But I'm not sure I'm really that interested to upgrade from this G7X2 just yet. Not for, I mean, maybe for the 3. We need to check them out and then put them side by side. That'd be really cool. Big thanks to Wex in Birmingham for loaning me this. Get in there, get your hands on it, see how you feel about it, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below. Take it easy.